Hey Stushes, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nisha Marie. And so I'm in a little bit of different setting. Like I'm literally like out and about. Have so many things to do today as I'm in the middle of moving. But I wanted to come to you today and just kind of check in with y'all. How's your new year going? How is it going? I hope it's going good, girl. Mine's is like January. Short answer, yes, it's going good. But January, it feels like long and short at the same time. I don't know. It's like work deadlines, and then I have like other plans going on, and you know, it's just going. I guess that's what time does, right? It goes. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great first month of the new year. So I wanted to talk to you guys today. I'm sorry, I'm flipping through my notebook. Okay, so I'm flipping through today, and I wanted to come to you guys today to talk about just some of the things that I feel like 2020 taught me, and some of my intentions for 2021. 2020, I mean, everyone's story is so different. In 2020, there were some people really winning, like they got stuff together, figured ish out, and some, it was just really challenging in different ways. And so and then in the midst of regular life kind of going on, then the pandemic, and then those specific types of impact it had on people. So I'm just grateful to have lived past that year, and as we continue to go into 2021, hopefully it doesn't get crazy. I'm rambling. So anyways, I wanted to come and talk to you guys about what 2020 taught me, and the lessons that I'm continually learning and putting into practice and reflecting on. And so I have a list of, how many things did I write? I think I wrote like 10 things that 2020 taught me. So the first thing that it taught me is, on top of being fit, exercise is a great form of mental therapy. Oh yeah, so on top of being fit, exercise is a great form of mental therapy. Yes. So in the beginning of the pandemic, for me, it was a lot of different stuff going on. Well, one, you know, adjusting to work from home, which is pretty interesting because in the work that I do now, I was actually advocating for me and my other coworkers to work, you know, a couple of days a week from home. And there were times that it was able to happen, and that kind of worked. And we kind of entertained the idea of like remote, but that wasn't really like a reality for us until the pandemic hit. And we were just so fortunate enough to be in a position where, you know, personally, our jobs directly weren't affected. In fact, it was a really, really busy year last year. But adjusting to work from home, of course, the pandemic going on, and then, oh, sorry, this guy was walking past. So the pandemic going on, and then at the time, just ending a 4-year relationship. So it was really hard, and you know, and then having to be in quarantine, that was challenging mentally for me. And you know, and work was just like never ending, and then I just started my master's program and yeah, so it was a lot. And so what I would do intentionally to just step away from work was like, I just need to go for a walk. Every single day I would just get out of the apartment and just go for a walk around like my neighborhood, and the breath of fresh air just felt so good. And then I started to go for like joggers go for runs, or you know, jogs, and I was like, this feels so good. And I would like listen to either an audiobook or some music, and man, I just got in a whirlwind, and I was just whirlwind like in a positive way of just doing it regularly. Like it became a habit, and I didn't realize at the time, but it was like an amazing form of like mental therapy. I was able to clear my mind, readjust, gain some perspective, just focus on myself. and not just everything else that was going amok externally. And it just opened up like a desire for me to just get better, just get fit. And so and that's a whole nother story, because I started drinking like TLC tea, getting my life I mean, not my life, but like my diet a bit more together, to be honest. And yeah, so I just started getting more and more physical. And you know, at the time I was 153 pounds, and I wanted to lose some weight. And so along with the tea and my regular exercise, I was able to lose 13 pounds. And to this day, I'm just still going with it, because now that I've lost the weight, I wanna now that I've got to my goal weight, I'm like, okay, I look good, but I think I kind of like how I looked when I was a little bigger. But instead of it being fat, let's make it muscle. So I'm working on kind of gaining the muscle mass and toning, and just, you know, just being the most fit that I ever have been in my life. And so that's my goal. So anyways, with all of that saying, that like fitness and exercise is a form of mental therapy for me, and I really kind of gained an appreciation and awareness of that last year. Another thing 2020 taught me is investing in a life/business coach is worth the investment. I cannot stress this enough. Like, and it's so funny because my mentor, which actually someone that, you know, that I've worked with, and like from the moment that I met her, I just admired like so much about her. Just the way she handled herself in business, just the way she communicated, connected, and just had this like warm spirit. And so the first time we actually had lunch, I was like, I don't know, like, I would love, like, if you could be my mentor. Like, I could definitely like see you as a mentor. And she's like, what, really? Okay. And then like fast forward a year later, I actually ended up booking a service with her, pretty impromptu. We were just talking about something completely different, but she is really growing within that space. And you know, I just decided to go for it. I was like, whatever. Like, even though it was like, you know, adding to my budget each month to invest in myself, I was like, let me go this first session. Let's go this first round, first full 3 months, and just see, just go for it. So I bit the bullet and I went for it. And man, I learned so much about myself. So many blind spots that I had. It was uncovering things I didn't even really know was there, and it helped to even repair some relationships in my life. And you know, really what I kind of went into it with was like the intention for business. I was thinking, okay, I want to relaunch my business, and you know, I just want a business coach, and you know, just kind of coach me towards, you know, whatever my goal is. And it ended up shedding so much light on me. Before I can even get to like the business stuff, it focused on me. Hold up. Oh dang, she's gonna be ready. Just so y'all know, I'm at the car wash and I was waiting for my car to get washed. Hey, you ready?
When that black that should be pulling, and you can pull behind it, okay?
Which one? Is that over there?
This one right here.
Okay.
It's gonna pull it. He's gonna come out. That one gonna go in, then you go in, okay?
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to hurry up. Oh yeah, so I wanted just like a business coach. And oh yes, where was I? Oh yeah, it ended up shedding so much light on me, like on what were the things that were holding me back, right? Okay, yeah, here's the business plan, and yeah, it's all good and stuff, but what, there's something within you, and I didn't really realize that or connect that till I actually started, you know, my coaching sessions, returned into therapy, and you know, spiritual awakening. And actually spiritual awakening was part of already my journey, but it took it to another level, going through, I consider it therapy, really, even though she was my business coach. It was really therapeutic for me. So investing in a business coach and a life coach and a mentor, it is worth it, okay? So I'm just gonna try to keep this short. So consider it, okay? All right, what else? So another thing 2020 taught me is I have to pay attention to the car. Care more about what I believe, not about what others think. Thinking is the lowest form of thought, usually not well developed. Ooh, okay, I want to go into detail with this. So you know, I used to really kind of have the mentality like, fuck what anybody gotta say, I don't care what anybody gotta say, but that was coming from a space of defense for me. It's like, fuck what anybody gotta say, I don't care, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. And although elements of that is true, it wasn't really rooted in something like more like positive, more of like a loving space instead of a defensive space. So I actually heard like this influencer, this fashion blogger, the Bee Singer, and she made a post about this, and I was like, oh my god, I really love that idea of, you know, caring more about what I think, not like, oh fuck what anybody got to say, but just caring more about what I think, what I value, what I believe, because it's going to impact me. You know what I'm saying? So that's a short version of it. I could really, like, each point I'm gonna touch on, I could probably make a full video about it because I can talk. So I'm gonna try to simplify it as much as I possibly can, but hopefully, you know, you're encouraged to just consider yourself first. Consider what you think, how you are gonna feel. All right? Sometimes you gotta get a little, for lack of a better term, selfish with it. How's it gonna impact you? So consider that. Care more about what you think versus what others think. She said pull in? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm back, mother effer. Okay, you guys. So sorry about that. Hey, Stush, sorry about that. Had to get the car washed, and she's fresh and so clean. She smells so good. Don't y'all be feeling like when you get your car washed, it like drives better even? No, just me? Okay. Anyway, so where I left off was, you know, just care more about what you think. Okay? Care more about what you think. So that's what I learned in 2020. The fourth thing that I learned is just to be more mindful of how critical I am of myself. It's just like, I think I would consider it like a toxic trait. Even though I'm ridding myself of the toxicity, it's just like overthinking and being like overly critical of myself. I think there's a level of holding yourself like accountable, you know what I'm saying, and like checking yourself, because sometimes you got to check yourself. But when you're checking yourself does more harm than good, you gotta, you know, figure that out, right? And kind of like find that balance. And so 2020 taught me like, hey Nisha, like, calm down, give yourself a little credit, like calm down, okay? And if you fall down, it's okay, get back up. Like, it's not the end of the world, girl. It's not. Calm down. So that's what I became more mindful of in 2020. Oh, number 5 is it. This is it. Number 5 is it. No is a full sentence. The word no in response to something is a full sentence. And so sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I feel the need or like the urge to like over explain myself, you know, why I don't want to do something, or why this or why that. It's like, no, you don't have to explain yourself. Like, you don't have to explain yourself. No is a full sentence. And that's in any situation, down to like, you know, dating, down to you know, things that people want you to do, whether it's your friends, your family, your significant other. Like, no is a full sentence. So be okay with that, and don't feel the need. If you want to, that's fine, go ahead, baby, because, you know, sometimes we overshare. I know I share sometimes overshare, but sometimes it's no, and that's just it. And I'm not gonna explain myself. Okay. Number 6 is the sixth thing that 2020 taught me was I have to be intentional about creating multiple ways of earning income. The more passive, the better, but earn more. The government don't really care about you. That's something I actually like write like in my journal, and it's just something so true. Like, one of the main things that 2020 taught me is that the government really don't care that much. and I'll say specifically the government here in the United States of America, they don't care that much. They don't care that much. So you can't be, we have to be concerned about what's going on in the White House, but we got to be more concerned what's going on in our house, because you know, 2020 left a lot of people dead, unemployed, at the verge of losing their homes, people lost their livelihoods. People were really struggling in 2020, and the government, while they like, you know, passing the Dutch on whether or not they want to give people support during this time. You know, every single time they wasted a week that went by wasted, they got paid, okay, while American families were hungry, they were challenged. Now I get, like, not everyone's gonna be an entrepreneur. Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, okay? Not everyone wants to be a business owner. That's just it is what it is, right? You can have your thoughts about it. However, you can still create, you know, passive ways of earning income. You know, in 2020, that's when I started trading on Robinhood, and I made, you know, not a whole bunch of money. I've invested like a decent amount, you know, like maybe a couple grand, but like nothing crazy yet, like crazy. And when I say crazy, I mean like 10K, like, you know, something like outstanding. But you know, I made some extra money versus like money sitting in my checking account or my savings, worse, just collecting dust, because these banks don't pay you no friggin' interest on your money there. But they got all the money though. They get all the bailouts or whatever may happen, right? They'll get all the support and making all this money. They charge you interest, they charge you maintenance fees, all of this shit, and barely want to pay any interest. Okay, so my money would have been sitting in my savings account collecting dust. Okay, and I invested money into Robinhood, and I've been able to make hundreds of dollars off of, sorry, my battery about to die, but off of it just be investing in stocks. And then I get paid dividends now. You know what I'm saying? Residual, I get paid, well, not with Robinhood, but just in general, just finding ways. I get paid residual, get paid dividends, right? And a lot of these are very passive. The business that I want to like relaunch is going to be, you know, require me to be very active. It's not going to be as passive, but I'm just generating ways to create passive income. And I encourage you to do so too, whether it's real estate, whatever it is, but find a way to generate money to come and flow your way. Okay, there's a lot to go around. So that's what 2020 just really cemented for me. I knew this, but 2020 really cemented it for me, especially in my adult years, that the government don't care about you. Care about yourself, care about your house, and get this money however you can, the legal way. Okay, so the 7th lesson that 2020 taught me is purpose is impact. And I learned this specifically from my coach. Is, you know, we like to, how can I articulate this the best I can? So a lot of time when we think of purpose and stuff like that, we tend to like think of like the Oprah Winfrey's and the Tony Robbins of the world, right? And their reach and their impact. And oh, I really hope that the air doesn't, I'm just gonna turn on my AC. So we think about their reach and their impact, and we kind of like measure ourselves against that, and it's easy to think that you don't have any impact, or it's easy to think that you don't really necessarily have any purpose. And so what I've learned is that you can have the most impact, whether it's reaching 1 million people or just the people that you engage with every day of your life, no matter how big or small numerically. But by living your authentic self, you can truly have impact. And that's where your purpose lies, wherever that is. And it seems so simple. I mean, I don't have it all figured out, and it seems so simple, but it really, when my mentor mentioned to me that purpose is impact, that's all it is, it made me stop and think like, wow, as I'm striving to become a better version of myself in whatever capacity, it is, whatever it is, I choose to, that's my spark in this world, and I'm going after that. But the impact that I can have in that process, the person that I'm becoming, and then the people that I interact with, and the impact that I may have on them, like that's what's going to be like my legacy. That's what's going to live on long after I'm gone. And so it's so simple. I mean, at times we think it's like so grandiose, but it's just simply just our impact on people. If you've watched the movie Soul on Netflix, or is it Disney Plus, one of them, I encourage you to watch it. I really like the message behind it. You know, life is meant to be lived, right? And your day-to-day interactions is your purpose, and your impact the impact that you have is your purpose. And so it makes me think about like this one man that I used to work with, and he passed away recently. I haven't seen him in years, but what I just remember most about him is that if you were gonna be around this guy, you were gonna laugh. Like, he always managed to make you put a smile on your face. Like, you know, it could be a crappy day at work, but you know what, if you're around Bob, it's not so bad after all. You know, that was just the energy he had. He was just radiant and always so positive. And that's what we're and it's not just myself. Like, as you were kind of reading, like when people found out the news, like on Facebook, and I was reading the comments, a lot of it resonated with the same thing I had. Like, he was always so friendly, he always made me feel welcome, he always made me laugh, he always made me smile. And it's like, wow, that was his impact. And his purpose, as simple as it was, to make people feel okay. So yeah. So it makes me curious, like, damn, I wonder, like, I don't like to think about life, you know, when I pass, like, what are people, like, what's people gonna remember me by? Like, did I make them feel, like, how did I make them feel? Did I inspire them to be a better version of themselves, whatever it is? Did they just not like me and didn't think I was a good person? Or you know, I made them feel confident to be themselves. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But I just hope that as I truly, you know, pursue the things that I want and strive to live in authenticity and be myself, that I can have some form of positive impact on people. So that is our purpose, and I encourage you to explore that. That's something that I learned in 2020, and continuing to appreciate and explore day to day. All right, so the 8th thing is that I learned is to not put faith in fear. All right, a lot of times we make a lot of our decisions really stem from fear and not faith. Faith is like the audacity to hope, right? The audacity to hope in things, hope for things, hope in things that you don't necessarily see. Now, you definitely have to put in work, right? Like, because, you know, miracles only happen once you've exhausted all natural resources and God kind of steps in, or the universe, or whoever you say. I mean, God controls the universe, so to me it's God, but that's my personal opinion. That's a whole different conversation. But you know, just understanding that faith, like, why? It's like, because, you know, you think you lack belief, but you actually do have belief. You have belief in your fear, and that's what drives your decisions, versus having belief in your faith and making that drive your decisions. You see where it's just where, you know, where you're rooted, that's where you're going to grow. And it's like a ground, fearful ground. Like, what kind of seeds is that? What kind of plant can grow from that? You know, can that be sustained for a long time in a healthy way? No. So 2020 taught me to put my hope, my belief in faith and not fear. Oh, this is a big one that I learned and hopefully you follow me on my We Talk Wednesdays. Like, come join me in on just, you know, day-to-day life conversations. But man, number 9 was huge for me. That was like one of the biggest life-changing lessons in 2020 for me. And it is, self-love isn't just a catchphrase. It is the real deal. Like, I thought I knew what self-love was until 2020. And specifically 2020 was just a year of discovery for me. That's my year. 2020 was the year of discovery, and I discovered love in a different way for myself than I ever experienced in my life, and didn't really kind of think of. I always thought like I love myself, I care for myself, you know what I'm saying? Like I value myself, you know. But when I really actually went into exercises like to love myself, and I expand more on that, and actually I'll link it above. Like I actually posted the We Talk Wednesdays, my IG live. I actually posted it on my YouTube because it was just that impactful to just me, and hopefully it can reach someone. And so I encourage you after this video to check it out. I'll link it down below. I expand on that whole idea of loving yourself. But yeah, loving myself truly and deeply, intentionally changed my life. And it made me love God even more. Like it was a really, really beautiful experience. And so again, I have a whole video dedicated to that, so go and check it out after this video. I'm almost done. So self-love is a real deal. It really is. It sounds like, oh, Leon, self-love, but I keep saying the same thing because I know if I start, I'm gonna go on, like on a tangent. But to love God is to love yourself. It's levels to it, so check it out. All right, finally I'm at number 10. I actually learned a lot more, but I'm just trying to like condense it down to 10. And so the 10th thing that 2020 taught me was the days are long, but the years are short. Have you guys heard that statement before? I have. I've heard that statement before, and 2020 I actually lived it. Like each day, 2020 was a long year, but now that it's passed, it's like, dang, 2020 already passed. We're in 2021, and really the only, like, I know technically, because for mankind to understand things, we have to, you know, break it down, I guess, in ways and stuff like that. And so, you know, the 12 months, you know, the 12 what we deem months, and you know, the trips around the sun, we consider those years. And you know, each whatever December 31st, we consider the following day the next year, right? We kind of came to a consensus worldwide somehow that that's just is what it is. And really and truly, it's like, if you think about it, there's really no big difference between December 31st and January 1st. It's not like this big, oh my gosh, moment is going to be a new year. It's literally the next day. It's the next day. And that's why I always say that the gag is, your new year can start anytime you make a decision, like anytime you want it to, really. Like in terms of like the changes that you want to make, it can start whenever you decide for it to, because it's just, time is just going to keep going. It's going to keep going. And you know, just even talking about certain things that occurred or whatever, and I'm like, wow, that was almost nine months ago. Wow, that was, oh my God, it's almost been a year. Oh my God, it's like time is just going. It's going, and it's like, and I'm just getting older and older. Like this year, you know, I'm gonna be stepping into like my 30s, and it's just like, what? I'm about to be 30? Like what? Ah! Like, oh wait, I wasn't ready. But it's like, girl, time is gonna keep going. The days are long, but the years are short, so make the most of it. 2020, if not, I mean, it really opened your eyes and showed you that. Who is playing that? That is so obnoxious. That's a sharp speaker though, I ain't gonna lie. So what I was saying is that, you know, 2020 really showed us that nothing is promised. Like, who the hell thought that we'd be stepping into a year of, you know, Kobe's passing, and then shortly after, then the pandemic, and then, you know, losing over 250,000 people in this country. Like, it's just, it's crazy, like really living through a pandemic. Like what the hell? Like us millennials, we done lived through a lot of stuff. And then people who are like even older than us, like they was around during World War II in them era, and then the civil rights movement, and then the 9/11 attack, and then what else happened? Did aliens come? No, aliens ain't come. We just got Independence Day. But just crazy. What else happened? It's a lot of different stuff that done happened that we done lived through. Okay. And now we living through a whole pandemic. Like what the heck? So life is unpredictable, I'll tell you that much. So but you know, the crazy thing is, some ways I kind of feel like, at least I found this to be true, especially within my industry, and a lot of it's like technology, and you know, I really feel like in some ways that the coronavirus, this pandemic has pushed the world, I would say, like 5 years ahead. I guess that's a whole nother conversation itself, but we really were kind of pushed 5 days ahead with like more virtual meetings, even more e-commerce. I mean, you saw what happened to Amazon, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, anyways, that's a whole different conversation. But yes, so the days are long, the years are short. Make the friggin' most of it, because right now it's January, whatever day it is, right? It's the middle of January 2021. I guarantee before you know it, we're gonna be December 31st again. So whatever your intentions are for this next year, go for it. Okay, the time is going to pass whether you do it or not, so might as well you do it. The time is going to pass anyways. It's going to pass anyway, so what are you going to do with it? So that's something that 2020 has put into perspective for me. I, you know, pray that I just remain open, ready to receive the lessons 2021 has to offer. And I encourage all of us to just strive to just be better. Be better than you were yesterday. Be better than you were the day before. And before you know it, you know, you're going to be a whole nother version of yourself. So that's what this new decade has taught me. Grateful for life, grateful I've been able to see the beginning of it, and I pray that I get to live a lot more to just continue to learn and grow. And so hopefully some of this information resonated with you. Did you guys have any kind of similar type of lessons, or you know, what were the lessons that 2020 taught you? I would love to hear it down below, Stushes. You know, I always encourage us to try our best, do our best to live life from within. That's not what I say. Encourage us to be beautiful within. That's not what I say either. I can't think of it. But you know, a lot of times, just make sure inside we're good. Externally can do whatever it want, but let's just make sure that we good inside. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Share this video if you care, if it resonated with you in any way. Comment down below. Please let me know, girl. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Like some of the lessons that you learned in 2020. And even like so far, I mean, I got some good things that already has occurred in 2021. It's just the middle of the month, so I'm very hopeful. Anyways, my babies, my stushes, you know what I always tell you, what I always be telling you. Stay bold, stay beautiful, and stay stush. Till next time. Bye.